The richest people on Earth think about money completely differently than you do. While most people see money as a problem to solve, billionaires see it as a tool they control. They don't just accumulate wealth through better investments. They control your perception of wealth itself. They shape how you think about money, what's possible, and your own ability to get rich. Once they control your mind, the money follows. There are 5 psychological tricks that billionaires use to keep everyone else trapped while they build generational wealth. These aren't conspiracy theories. They're documented psychological principles the ultra-wealthy deliberately apply. Most people never see them coming because they're invisible, woven into how society thinks about wealth and success. If you understand these tricks, you understand how the game is actually played. This is how billionaires control you. The first trick is reframing your mindset from scarcity to abundance, except they keep you in scarcity while they operate in abundance. A billionaire's mind works differently because they believe they can control their financial destiny. Research shows this isn't about intelligence or education, it's about belief. People who feel they control their life make more money, recover faster from job loss, and handle money better. Billionaires train themselves from childhood to believe they deserve wealth and that it's achievable. Meanwhile, the middle class sets expectations low, so they're never disappointed. You're taught to think small, to be realistic, to accept your station. They're taught to dream big and execute. A billionaire sees a $10 million opportunity and thinks it's possible. You see the same opportunity and think it's crazy. The psychological difference determines who gets the wealth. It's not about talent, it's about who has permission to believe they can win. The second trick is the dark side of wealth. It sounds harsh, but research is clear. The wealthier someone becomes, the less they see other people as human beings. Empathy literally decreases as wealth increases. Your brain's mirror neuron system shuts down. You stop being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Billionaires develop what psychologists call the dark triad, a combination of Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. These traits predict wealth accumulation. They allow billionaires to make decisions that harm others without guilt. They'll exploit workers, crush competitors, manipulate systems, all while feeling nothing. Jeff Bezos is famous for being described as ruthless in negotiation. He will destroy anyone to win. And the wealthier he became, the easier this got. The psychological block that stops normal people, empathy, doesn't exist for the ultra-rich. They're not evil exactly. They're just operating with a completely different set of psychological rules. The third trick is controlling the narrative. Billionaires don't just accumulate wealth, they control the story about that wealth. They convince you their success is deserved, that they earned it through brilliance, that wealth concentration is natural. Research shows most people underestimate wealth inequality. They think the distribution is much fairer than it actually is. Why? Because billionaires have shaped the narrative. They tell stories about hard work and innovation. They create feel-good mythology. Jeff Bezos says Amazon is customer-obsessed, and that's the story. But the real story is strategy. It's crushing competitors, using information asymmetry, dominating markets. The customer narrative makes Bezos seem benevolent. The strategy narrative makes him look ruthless. Both are true, but billionaires control which narrative dominates. They shape what you believe about their success. The fourth trick is using other people's money while you're afraid of debt. This is massive. A billionaire never says no to a good opportunity because they can't personally afford it. They find other people's money. They borrow, they raise capital, they use leverage. You look at something and think, I can't afford this. A billionaire looks at it and thinks, who will lend me this? Psychologically, the wealthy separate the question from the fear. Is it worth buying? Yes. Can I afford it personally? No. But that doesn't matter. Capital flows to confidence and opportunity. Billionaires project both. You're terrified of debt because you were taught debt is danger. Billionaires see debt as a tool. They use it to multiply returns while someone else takes the risk. It's the same action, different psychology. The wealthy aren't braver. They just aren't afraid. The fifth trick is information asymmetry and psychological manipulation through negotiation. Billionaires know secrets you don't. They have access to data you don't. They're inside circles you can't enter. And in negotiation, whoever has more information controls the outcome. Warren Buffett spends months researching deals. When he finally negotiates, the other side doesn't know what he knows. He's playing chess when they think it's checkers. But beyond information, billionaires understand human psychology better. They listen more than they talk. They identify what you actually want versus what you say you want. They use emotional intelligence while you're emotional. They stay calm while you're panicking. In a negotiation, the person without emotional stakes wins. Billionaires negotiate for power and wealth every day. You negotiate for a car once every 5 years. They have experience. You don't have psychology expertise. You can't match. The game is rigged because the billionaires understand the psychological tricks and you don't. They control the narrative about wealth. They operate without empathy. They think differently about possibility and risk. They use other people's money and they dominate information and negotiation. The system isn't designed to stop them. It's designed by them. If this revealed how the wealth game actually works, subscribe, because understanding the psychology of money is the first step to breaking the pattern. They control the game because they control how you think about it. See you next time.